The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Alongside Carson-Newman baseball coach Tom Griffin, I'm Michael Watchering, and this is the Eagles Sports Network as Coach Griffin releases the 2018 schedule. And, Coach, last year was very home dominant. I think you had 30 home games and 20 road games. This year it's a little more even. I think it's 25 home and 23 on the road. Having that kind of balance, how much more magnified does it make some of the home games this season?
First, it is great to see you again, and this kind of reminds us how close we are to the baseball season, although I know you are knee-deep in basketball. The schedule and the way it happens, I wish we had more of a factor in it, which we really don't. I think the big thing is the people we're playing, they're all going to be competitive. I think you're going to see that in Division II baseball. I think what we look for also are teams that you feel like are going to compete the right way. So many times there's some clubs you play and you got to worry about what their team's going to say in the dugout. You got to worry about how they're going to conduct themselves, whether you're going to sit here and have a tension-filled game, not because of competing, just because of their actions. You know, the guys in the dugout who aren't playing, what are they saying to teammates? And a lot of times we don't get umpires actually stopping that stuff. They allow it to happen, and it creates an atmosphere. It's like, that's how you want to spend a Wednesday? We want to spend a Wednesday competing with other teams that are competitive, that at the end of the game, it's like, man, respect, not, we got to worry about what they're saying over there. And they're trying to just get into your grill, but in a way that, for us, isn't the way the game should be played. And fortunately, we've got some great people that we play against year after year that we feel like that's what we get. I just saw Coach Anderson from Belmont Abbey this weekend, and we were talking about how long we've played each other, going back to when Kermit Smith was there. That's the type of environment we want to have. It's competitive. You know what you're going to get across the other side, but it's going to be a way that is respecting the game and their opponent.
You start off with Limestone this year after you had started off with North Georgia the last couple of years. That opening series against the Saints, how much does that opening series try to set the tone for what the season will be?
I don't know. We've had some years we've started out well on the weekend series, and the year's been atrocious. And there's been some years, I don't think it really matters. I think we haven't spent much time talking about who we're playing, and I know this is so cliche, Michael, but we're just trying to prepare each day, not look ahead on the schedule, but we know that we've got to be prepared on January 10th when we first start our first training day, and that's what we have to worry about. Now, let's talk about baseball fans here. Limestone's a great opponent for us. That's been a give or take over on that side with Coach Wiley and his group. So I think it's a good start because you're always looking for, one, the environment where the weather's going to be good. We feel like it'll be okay in Gaffney, South Carolina, because you want to get these games in. The worst thing you could do is to have games and you lose them. You want to play as much as possible before you get into conference play. So that's why you try to get away first. Then we do have some games here at home. And we were fortunate last couple of years. The weather has been pretty good for us to get them in. So that's the main thing. Can we get reps in? Because we got a lot of competition in that outfield. We got a lot of guys that can throw. We got to see who can do what, and we've got to figure that out sooner versus later because in March, it's kicking up for us conference-wise.
Yeah, you mentioned the fact that you do have some competitions in the field. Last year, it seemed like you had your lineup pretty much straightforward. Well, now you get Christmas break, and you mentioned the January 10th date that you're getting everybody locked and loaded for.
Yeah.
How important is it for some of the new guys and even some of the returners that are battling for some of these spots to be mentally prepared as soon as they get back from Christmas break?
Every coach, every program is worrying about the next month when these guys go home and figure out what are they going to do. What are their habits? What's their nutrition? What's their routine going to be? I think all coaches have trained guys to a certain point. Now we have to let them go. It's like they're going on a cruise ship now. When they come back, have they done any running? What's their agility? What's their timing with hitting? Are their arms in shape? Because we got to kick it off and we got to get right into it. We have 20 days of training before we play. And if these guys have kind of taken a laissez-faire type attitude, it's going to show up. And we try to remind them, and boy, you sit there and try to motivate them in all ways you possibly can. Remind them of the competition. Remind them of the seniors. Remind them playing for whatever it is. I mean, we got more John Gordon books we're looking over and more motivational speeches we can give. But the bottom line is that kid have the DNA and the self-motivation to do what he needs to do over the break. We'll know when he gets back. because if his arm gets set tender, he hadn't thrown. Pulls a hamstring, hasn't run very much. His timing is off, he hadn't. I mean, it shows up. It's pretty easy to see. And then we feel like that disappoints your teammates because we're counting on you to be ready, and we don't have enough time to get ready before we're in battle. We're in a war. We don't have that much time to prepare for it. So we're hoping that they do that, and them knowing that, boy, there's no set lineup right now. We truly have a new club.
You, last couple of years, you've made a nice little run in the SAC baseball championships. Seeing that in the last 2 years, that you get to play down there at Smoky Stadium, how much of a motivating factor has that been the last couple of years, and will it be once again this year to have a solid regular season, to get in a good spot, and then to get there and play not too far away from campus?
The key is get the good spot. You're playing that play-in game. That's dicey right there. So to have that bye, I think, and get right into the double elimination pool is crucial for your club. But again, it's nice knowing where it's at. Budgetarily, it's great for Carson-Newman. We're not paying for hotels, meals, travel. Carson-Newman loves Smokies Park. Now, I don't know if Coker and Wingate feel the same way because they got to travel over here, but we love it. We love the atmosphere. We're very comfortable in that atmosphere. The guys have played in that stadium before, whether at Carson-Newman or their high school program. So there's a good comfort feel. That certainly helps. That cannot hurt. And we have been playing well there. So I think it's a big factor for us, knowing at the end, if we can get into that thing, who knows? And last year was an indication of what can happen. Just get in it, and then you start playing well and have a couple days of good baseball, and there you are sitting there in the finals with an opportunity to do something great.
Coach, thanks for the time. Merry Christmas. Hope Santa's nice to you this year.
Same to you, Michael. Thank you for all you do, brother.
East Carson-Newman baseball coach Tom Griffin. I'm Michael Watchering, and this is the Eagle Sports Network.